Welcome to Testing with RK. In this session we will be discussing how to debug C# code using Visual Studio. Debugging. So basically what debugging means is that let's actually switch to Visual Studio. Now, as sometimes while we're writing our automated test scripts, we will find that we are getting error, and it is very difficult to figure out why the issue is being created. So what we can do in that instance is we can debug. What debug basically means is that rather than letting the compiler run entire program at once, we can go step by step and execute each individual statement and check where the issue is. It really helps us to point out where the problem is. Also, while you are learning the C# or any other programming language, it is such a great advantage to debug your own code, so where you can see how the values of variables are changing and how the compiler actually interprets all this code. So the first thing we will talk about is breakpoint. Okay, breakpoint is as you're looking at the code, what happens is that when I run it right now, it will execute. It's compiling and it's executing all that statement. Okay, what I can do though is that I can right click here on the code and I can say breakpoint, insert breakpoint. Now what will happen is that when I start debugging the code, basically rerun the code again, the compiler will stop here and it will wait for us to go further. So if I show you, if I can press F11, or I can go through the F10 or F11 to step over and step into. Okay, so I can compile each statement and I can check the value here. So if you see modulus remainder 0, and as I go with the further, I will see the values have been changed. This is a great way of checking while running the execution slowly. So you can add breakpoint wherever you like. You can do that by either by right clicking and say breakpoint, insert breakpoint, or you can simply double click right at the beginning of the line and it will add the breakpoint and the execution will stop there. Okay, if you want to jump from one breakpoint to the other breakpoint, then you have to press F5. F5 will jump from one breakpoint to the other breakpoint. We will be looking at some of the other features that we can use helping us debugging the code. Autos. Okay, so as you would see, in this particular scenario, I want to check the value of X, Y, and so on and so forth. What we can do is we can go to debug here in the Windows section. We are looking for something called autos. What autos does is that as I am moving through each line of statement, it will automatically pick up the variable which is interacting or where the operation is being performed, and it will display the value. So as I keep doing it, you could see whichever variable it is interacting with, it will give me the value of it. So now I'm moving to X, it is displaying the value of X as 12. The moment I press F11 and move to the next statement, you see the X value has been changed to 10, and we can see each variable what value it is holding. That's autos. Autos automatically picks up the variables that are in the interaction. Local. So what if you want to check the values of all the variables that are involved in this program? Again, same thing, debug, Windows, and what we are looking for something called locals. What locals does is that it gives you the value of all the variables that are there in this program. So we have X, Y, Z, my boolean true, 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 false, and my boolean false too. These are all the variables that we were discussing in the operators session. And you could see all those variables are visible in the local. So as I am compiling through, as I am running through the code, it will actually change all these values of these variables, but this is displaying all the variables, whereas on the contrary, autos only shows the variable that are there, that are being interacted when your compiler is executing that piece of code. Okay, The next one we have is a watch. Now it may happen that you're debugging your code and you are looking out for a specific variable and you're only interested in that particular variable. So basically you're looking out for the value of that particular variable. What we can do here is that we can use something called watch. In the watch, I can say I want to check the value of X, and it will only display X. No matter what I'm doing, it will only show me X, and it will be updating the value of X as I am if the value of X changes. So as you can see now, X is equals to X minus 5, which was 2015 changed. It is a great way. This watch we can use when we are interested in looking for value of a specific variable. The other one is immediate. The immediate is when you want to print the value. So let me show you. Debug, Windows, and immediate. It will open up a console for us. Okay, clear all. If I want to see the value of specific variable, I can print the name of that particular variable and I can check the value of it, and it will give me the value. So for example, my bool, so it is picking up all the variables that are present here in this code. My bool true, enter, and it will tell me the value, current value that is there is true. Debugging, as I said, is a great way of learning how a program executes your own code. Moving ahead, when we are talking about conditional statements like if, switch, we will be using debug to understand how the control flows. That's it for this tutorial, and thank you for joining with me, and see you in the next session. Thank you.